House pleased consumers and tech advocates by supporting your right to unlock your smartphone. This goes against a January decision by the Library of Congress, which made unlocking your cell phone punishable by a large fine or prison sentence. For those of you who don't know, unlocking your cell phone allows you to use your phone on the carrier of your choice. Currently, if you buy an iPhone with a Verizon plan, you're stuck with Verizon's plan, even if you find a cheaper iPhone plan with a different carrier. As the White House said in its announcement, it's common sense, crucial for protecting consumer choice, and important for ensuring we continue to have the vibrant, competitive wireless market that delivers innovative products and solid service to meet consumers' needs. For more on this, Derek Khanna joins us live in the studio. Derek is a conservative columnist, policy expert whose recent article, The Most Ridiculous Law of 2013. Hey, Derek. It's now, yeah. Derek, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm camera challenged here. First of all, explain what unlocking your cell phone means.
Sure. So unlocking your cell phone is a pretty simple process where you take your phone, you plug it into a computer, and you run a computer program there which changes some of the settings, and that allows for you to use your phone with a different carrier. So you pop out the SIM card, you have an AT&T phone, now you can use it on T-Mobile, for example.
Yeah, and last time I was in Germany, in the airport, at the gift shop, they've
all
got
the
a
airports
rack
have this
sitting there with all the SIM cards. Right? Hey, this one's got 20 minutes of, or 200 minutes of talk time.
Yep.
This one's got, 6 gigs of data time.
Yep.
And they're like, $5, $10. They're cheap. You just pop the SIM card in. People don't even realize that their phones have a SIM card.
Exactly.
In the United States.
Pretty much every country has that, yeah.
Yeah. It's all over the world. You see this. And so why are we allowing these monopolies to stand here in the United States? How did this get into law, and how do we get it out?
Well, that's the question. I wrote the article for The Atlantic, The Most Ridiculous Law of 2013, and it was pretty early in January. And that was on this issue in particular. So what actually happened here is kind of fascinating. Unlocking your cell phone used to be lawful, but a decision of the Librarian of Congress has made this technique unlawful and punishable by up to 5 years in prison. And that was a technique asked for by the big wireless providers, sure. AT&T and Verizon.
Well, before that, it was unlawful by contract. I remember, I've had an iPhone for a couple of years, and when they first came out, people were doing what was called jailbreaking them, which is basically hacking the phone so that you can pop the SIM card out and pop another SIM card in, and not pay the absurd prices that AT&T was charging. And if Apple found out about it or AT&T found out about it, they had remedies at law. They could sue you, they could cut you off, they could I don't know, screw with your credit rating, whatever.
And they still have those remedies at their disposal.
Right. So,
but there's no reason for the federal government to come in and say you're also a felon who can go to jail for 5 years.
I absolutely agree. You conservative, me liberal, we absolutely agree. But I'm saying let's even go beyond that. Let's say not only should the federal government get out of this business of supporting the, basically nanny-stating the giant telco companies, but the telco companies should not be able to force us by contract to loyalty to them for extended periods of time, which is going to require the force of law to constrain those companies. The reason in Europe that you can buy, or not just Europe, you can do the same thing in South America, in Central America, in the Middle East, in Africa. The reason you can buy those SIM cards is because those governments enforce competition. Would you agree with legislation that would say you have to allow other carriers to compete?
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I think that that's a contractual arrangement between you and your provider. But the important part is after your contract ends, then everyone should agree you should be able to get out of, unlock your phone and do whatever you so choose with it.
But what pretty much every other country in the world has said is that if you're using the common airwaves, that's the commons. That's stuff we all own, the airwaves. And so even if you own the transmitter, the cell tower, you have to let other carriers offer services through that cell tower. And so in France, you get like 250 different companies competing, and the average French citizen has cell phone service with unlimited data and can call any country in Europe for free, unlimited minutes for under $30 a month. Why don't we do that here?
But they also have a different market model. They also pay $600 for their phones. They're not subsidized.
That's right. The phone is, well, I don't know, there's $600. It would depend on the phone. I mean, you could buy phones in France for $50.
But our perspective is they should be able to keep their current market model, but they shouldn't be manipulating the tools of government.
But their market model is based on us being screwed by the carriers.
I don't know if it's being screwed by the carriers.
It's the manufacturers like Apple and Motorola are in bed with the manufacturers, AT&T and Verizon, and they're basically creating these cross-industry duopolies. This is how capitalism destroys itself. This is what Karl Marx described as Das Kapital.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I believe in private contracts, but I think the real problem
even when they harm the consumers?
Well, that's why you need more competition in the market.
But you can't have competition in the marketplace when there are natural monopolies. There's only so many airwaves.
But
there's
one
only
of the
so many
problems
cell
here
towers.
is the government has never really allowed for the unlocking technology to be lawful. That's one of those pro-competition technologies.
Well, no, it's been lawful up until this last year.
Yes and no. So I wrote the main articles on this issue. It was lawful for personal use, but the technology has actually never been lawful to sell or to create or to traffic in.
Okay.
So once you legalize these technologies, then you're going to have more competition overall.
Derek, we're going to have to wrap it up, but thank you for being with us tonight. It's an interesting conversation,
Absolutely.
and I appreciate your perspective. Derek Conner, thank you.